Bouncing anime titties.
It's never gonna be a good episode.
So that's the tagline of the podcast. Welcome to One Corner Missing, a podcast in which we have one corner that is missing. My name is Deem. Your name is?
The tagline should be like
So close. I was so close to just getting that one in.
I was gonna add to like, it's not like, hey, welcome to the One Corner Missing. It's just like, we never have a good episode.
Yeah,
the tagline.
That should be it. Actually, we shouldn't even introduce ourselves then.
There's no introduction for that.
No,
skip it. Skip introducing yourself. I mean, no. We need to introduce ourselves because we already have 7 listeners on Spotify. Thank you, everybody who is listening. First of all, why? Second of all, why?
Third of all, huh? Can I be genuinely 100% honest with you? I know
scared?
like a lot of people would be like 7 listeners. That's literally 5 listeners more than I thought we were going to get.
Same.
I thought we were going to get 2 listeners, our partners.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say 1.5. I think your partner would listen. I think mine would be like, meh.
I just follow and then he's lurking in the background.
Which I understand. So 7 is wild to me.
Very impressed.
In case anyone does want to get in touch, any of these listeners, in case they have any ideas or feedback, you can always email us. We never mentioned this. We have an email address, onecornermissing@gmail.com.
Please don't touch me.
Am I touching you? Oh.
You said if you want to get in touch. I'm like, people touching me.
I was also, my brain was genuinely like, am I currently touching you? Like,
hi, this is the episode where we discover we both are autistic.
Yeah.
Acoustic? Artistic? Both.
Yeah, why not both? onecornermissing@gmail.com if you want to get in touch. Thank you to our 5 listeners.
Is that how people do things on Spotify?
Yeah.
They email people?
Yeah. Wait, did we get any ratings yet?
Good question.
Let me see. I've got my little...
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing the whole thing.
In the meanwhile, I will explain what we were going to try to do. So Deemer had an idea for this episode to look up Reddit stories.
I love that you're explaining it even though you don't know what it is.
Yeah, but
like the logic that we're doing here.
While you're trying to look
incredible.
up, I'm like trying to explain an idea that I literally do not know anything
Yeah,
about.
Exactly.
Is this am I the asshole? Is it called?
Yes. So like you said, am I the asshole? Indeed, this is a concept you have never heard about, so I'm actually excited to explain it to you.
Vaguely.
Oh, okay.
I can already guess.
Yeah,
okay,
what it is.
Let me explain how I think it will be.
You'll crush it.
So Reddit. Basically, there is a /am I the asshole or whatever that accumulates all of the stories, screenshots, Twitter feeds, whatever, of people that explain a story that they did or they were a part of, and they clearly are the asshole in the story, but they are like denying it or are like, am I the asshole? Which is clearly like descriptive of the super douche thing that they did.
The asshole behavior.
Yeah.
I really like your explanation. It is, I would say, 70% accurate.
Okay.
What
did I get
things
wrong?
that are inaccurate, I think, because it's not like I'm a Reddit boy browsing Reddit all the time.
You are the expert of am I the asshole?
I think it's just people typing a story that they experienced.
Okay.
So I don't think it's related as much to like, I've seen these people on Twitter or something. I don't think so. That's one. And then the other thing is it's not like, because you initially said they're clearly the asshole, but sometimes it really is like people who are like, I don't know if I fucked up here or not. So it's kind of a thing, right? So this was hugely popular for like a couple of years already. So again, we're really late to this. And also, like I said, it's pretty much played out already. But I do want to try it because there's a lot of podcast YouTubers as well that do like, am I the asshole? And like they then just discuss like, what do you think?
It doesn't mean if something already is past its prime, we shouldn't explore it. It's fun. We haven't done it. Why not?
I still play Apex Legends.
Whoa. Oh, I didn't know I was podcasting with that kind of guy.
Yeah. So we're gonna go in this completely dry, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately. Please. And I think the idea is
be gentle.
I will. And I'm just gonna pick the highest rated one from today, and I'm gonna read it.
And
maybe we'll take some pauses to discuss what's happening, right? And we'll try to figure out if this person is the asshole.
There is a loose structure. The same thing what we did with 21 questions. We just
pretty much
pick a good one. If it's a good one, we'll go with it. If not, we just skip. All right.
So this is it's a pretty short one, and this is a USA Pacific based one because it's about tipping.
You've already pre-read it?
No, I just read the title.
Okay, so it's about tipping.
Yeah, so the title is...
Just the tip.
Am I the asshole for having tip removed at Subway? So I want to already preface by saying I hate the tipping system in the US so much. It is bullshit. Just pay your workers.
Fully agree.
Pay your workers a living wage.
Yes.
Don't give them like because they get like $3-4 an hour.
It's
it's
insane.
Ridiculous. You might as well just not pay them.
You have to survive on tips. That's bananas.
Yeah. So I already have an opinion.
Yeah, same.
I think it's a bullshit system. However, I do think you should always tip because that system exists. These people get no money. So you have to.
If there's a system in place and you say, "Oh, I'm gonna not leave tips," and their wage is like $4 an hour,
that's horrible. You're being a bad person.
That's already a full blown asshole.
Okay, we've already established the baseline.
We're already pissed off.
Yeah, we're already angry, which is good because we're on the internet.
Are we the assholes?
Next episode, we're two podcasters. A lot of quotation marks
quotes,
there. Yeah. So we went to Subway where my husband and I each ordered a pretzel and my two nieces each ordered a foot-long sub sandwich. I am the only one who got a drink, which they promptly handed me an empty cup and a straw to fill myself. When we checked out, they added an automatic 20% tip, which equaled $8.51. I was indignant and made them remove the tip. I said, I do not tip where I have to stand to order my food, get my own drink, and clean up after myself. I should add that I live in Washington State. Minimum wage is $16.28 an hour. The tipping pressure is real here, and there are more than one place that has the automatic tip set to 20% unless you want to change it, which may have been the case, but I did not see where I could have changed it before they charged me. Tell me, am I the asshole?
Okay, so going off by $16 an hour, it's not bad. It's very decent.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, yeah.
Remember our base assumption, people should get at least a living wage. Now, I'm not sure if it is a living wage for that area, but I think it's a lot better than what they get in other places.
I'm just going to base off the money that I made when I was a student. I used to work like around 10 euros an hour, like at a cocktail bar, which
is a while ago.
It was a while ago. It was, I think, something 80 years ago. So 10, and then you get tips, obviously.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there was like a bonus system, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like a baseline. And 10 was fairly decent.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well it adjusted to inflation. So 16, I feel like it's on the lower side then, but still not bad, like how we assumed, like $4 or $5 an hour.
Because I think when we talk about the US, and this is again an assumption, but I'm a podcaster, so I can just say it.
No, it's not an assumption. It's
true now because I've said it.
True,
yeah, because I'm a white guy with a microphone.
White guy with a microphone.
Exactly.
It's a new song.
No, white boy with a podcast. Remember that song? That dude. I don't know what his name is, but he has that song like another white dude with a podcast or something.
Yeah. I remember that.
Beautiful. So my knowledge of the US is that indeed it is like state dependent how much you actually get as a minimum wage.
Okay.
And I think that in some states, I don't know if it's the majority, it really is like
normal.
You just no, yeah, like this I think is pretty decent.
And are the taxes the same for every state?
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah.
Then, I mean, I should just say yes because again, podcast, but I have no idea.
Okay, assuming that the taxes are all over the America the same, then
America.
It's the America, yes.
We are foreigners.
We are from the Europe.
It turns out in the America.
I went to the Europe and they had very weird pizza.
Honestly,
where?
This is
where?
In the Europe.
Yeah, in the Europe. Great. Assuming that in the America the taxes are the same, and we go off based off, like, for example, I don't know, in the New York area, $3 to $4 an hour. And the taxes are mandatory. And in that area, $16 and taxes are still mandatory. I would say he's not the asshole there. Because 16 seems fairly good and like an obligated tipping, especially in a Subway.
My gut feeling really agrees with you in that it feels like, fortunately, they're getting a living wage, or at least I don't. It's again difficult for me to say because it might be really expensive to live there. That might be nothing.
I mean, going off, but let me try that again.
That was lovely.
Going off by what we know, Seems like a good wage.
Correct. Like, I don't know what rent is there. I have no idea. But in any case, so let's assume that they get a living wage. Let's start with that because we don't know. But let's assume that that's enough to pay for rent.
Yeah.
I do agree that a 20%, 20% tip on here's a cup and you can go fill it up is completely ridiculous.
And also it's a Subway sandwich.
It's complete
There's
nonsense.
no table service. It's just you get a sandwich, you sit down, you eat.
No.
And that's it. Okay, they clean. Okay, allegedly clean. They make your sandwich, but that's literally every single food establishment ever.
Yeah. Now, if this was like a place where they would get that wage, but also you sit down, they take your order, they bring the food, then I'm like, okay, well,
tipping. Yes.
Now I feel like tipping is fine, as long as there be,
exactly.
Why not? But if it's like sort of like a window basically, and it's like I ordered
NPC
this,
interaction, no tip.
If they're already getting a basic wage.
If they're getting a basic wage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think my gut feeling is also like I think this person is fine.
Yeah. Same. I would give him the not the asshole pass.
Yeah. Exactly.
Put a stamp of not asshole.
So we recently went to London, England, London, UK. Outside of Europe.
You went to London?
Yeah, far away.
Was it fun in it?
Wait, what?
Did you get stabbed?
Oh, no, I didn't get stabbed. It was lovely.
Damn it.
And actually, this reminds me of what we experienced in London. Apparently, they do this like adding an automatic, I think it was 20%
as well?
Yeah.
But they don't have that system in America, right? Like in America? Well,
this is something we should discuss. Let me circle back to the UK experience. Is that these are people who are, of course, hopefully also getting a decent wage to work, like enough to pay rent. And also the restaurants were adding automatically on the bill like a 20% tip or something,
always,
or a 50%. Like they call it the service charge.
Okay.
And it is something that you can ask them to remove.
Okay.
And they don't mind at all. Like they're like, yeah, it's fine. But by default, they add it.
So if you don't pay attention, you're paying like 15 to 20% extra.
Yeah. Which we were really surprised by. In a negative way. We were really like, this is really weird because I don't mind tipping at all if it's like a choice that I can make.
Oh, yeah.
In a country where people are getting paid enough.
Exactly.
Then I tip because sometimes it's like, yeah, whatever, just keep a change or here's a little bit extra because like I really enjoyed the food and the service and whatever.
Exactly. You had a good time. The people weren't assholes. The food was good.
Exactly. The people were not being the asshole. Yeah. But I thought that was really bizarre.
It is.
And it kind of fits in the idea that I have of London and the UK being like the America of Europe.
I mean, technically, they were the OG America.
Pretty much, right? It does add up. So that actually reminds me. And we also at one place where also the food was not great and the service was very basic. We also said like, can you remove the service charge, please? And it was fine. They were like, yeah, of course. And then they removed it. It did make me feel kind of shitty. I'm not going to lie.
I think you are more guilted into tipping. Because here, if you enjoyed your service, you can just leave a tip. Yeah. It's never obligatory.
No, not at all.
And in America, I've really seen like screens that you can you need to press a percentage or no tip, and then maybe it reads out loud like no tip. You're like, oh god damn it.
So that's the other thing I wanted to say. I've seen that here as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Where?
Screens in some places in the city where we live, where if you pay by card, it by default says like no tip, 10%, 15%, right?
Yeah,
and it's every time I'm like, no tip, because
of course, why the fuck?
This was just a normal standard interaction in a country where we only tip if there's a great interaction.
I just bought a pair of pants. What the fuck you mean?
It's really weird. I don't like it at all.
No, especially because as we talked about it, we have like a decent system in place for like wages and stuff like that. Of course, not all of the establishments pay the same, but
there's a good minimum wage, or there's a decent minimum wage, I would say.
Yeah,
there's a good social security net.
Exactly.
People have healthcare, so it's like.
I hope it's not coming to the Europe.
The Europe, because I really don't like that system. I really think companies need to pay their workers. I'm sorry.
100%.
If you're running a company and you're not able to pay your workers,
what are you doing?
You shouldn't be running a company.
No, exactly. Just
it's
human basic needs, man.
Yeah, because people in the US need like 2-3 jobs.
That's insane. If you get 2-3 jobs in the Europe, you will pay so much taxes that you are just gonna not be able to afford anything.
True, and that's good. You should pay taxes.
Yes. I love how like the episode before that we were just like, oh, landlords and rich people are. Meanwhile, we're like, we have acceptable minimum wages. What do you mean people are struggling? We're like the middle, middle douchebag.
Yeah,
we are the assholes. We are the assholes in this episode.
No, I'm just glad we have a social security net and healthcare and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of that.
In
honestly.
Belgium,
it's gonna go
good.
Like it's gonna go.
It's gonna go.
We know. The politicians are like, would be a shame if we destroyed that.
People are abusing the system, and the politicians are also like, this is too easy.
What if we stop doing this and also everyone worked more?
We need more money for some reason.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. We don't need to get into that.
So this gets the stamp of not asshole.
I think this person is not the asshole. Do you want to do another one?
Of course, yeah.
Yes, excellent.
Why not? Before we continue, could we just read like the top 2 comments?
Oh, yeah.
Saying what people think.
This one says, not the asshole. The fact that they added the tip on without your permission is out of line and should be illegal. I agree.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I agree. This is what I was talking about in the UK as well, where they're just like, you're tipping. And it's like, okay, what? Am I?
I mean, that's a strategy. It's just exactly.
Like I said, and I felt bad. I felt bad asking them to remove it.
No, I am the asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, so
shall we do a different one?
Yeah, that's a full story.
Am I the asshole for threatening my family after they insulted my wife in front of my face? So I'm 21 male. My wife is 21 female. Okay, this is the way people phrase things on Reddit drives me fucking crazy. I'm 21. My wife is 21.
Okay.
No, I'm 22. My wife is 21. We've been together since childhood. We have been dating since I was 17. Problem is, she met with an accident when she was 11, and since then, she couldn't walk. We are working on it, but it isn't promising at all. So we got married 8 months ago. My family and hers and our friends all joined us. My family criticized me for marrying so early and being rash. 8 months ago. Wait, they've been dating since they're 17. So they've been dating for 5 years. Right?
Yeah, roughly.
So how is that rash? Wait, am I missing something?
Rash, in my opinion, should be like after a year or 2.
Yeah, exactly. Or even after a year, I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah. I've seen people already propose like 6 months into the relationship. I'm like, what? Are you that desperate?
Like, you're just really in love. Like, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a moment.
Chill.
And then they make babies. Anyway.
No, don't get me started.
We're not going to get, we're not. So, first of all, I already disagree with them being called rash.
Rash.
I have 2 elder brothers, and they're 2 years apart. One elder sister who's 4 years older than me. They attended my wedding, and I thought they accepted her. But a few days ago, we had a family dinner because finally my eldest sister was going to get married. Everything else was good. We joked, we drank, we ate, we danced, etc., etc. My wife was sleepy, so I took her upstairs and put her to sleep. So she can't handle alcohol at all.
Put her to sleep. Just imagine like
the phrasing.
A pillow and just papa.
See what I was saying? Like the way people write things on Reddit is like, what? What is this?
The story is like just derailing in my head already.
Exactly. Anyway, so the person's wife was sleepy, so she went to bed, came downstairs, and after a while, out of nowhere, my sister said that it's better if my wife is not present in her wedding. Whoa. Thought it was a joke. This is already like, whoa.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, let's pause here. What?
I mean, okay, debatable.
It's better if debatable?
Yeah, debatable in a sense if they really don't like her as a person, not because of her disability.
Yeah.
Because I've been in this situation like that.
Okay, actually, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I personally am also of the opinion that you should be super selfish at your wedding because it's your wedding and you should invite who you want to. I know it's almost impossible to do that though.
It is not virtually impossible. It is impossible.
Yeah.
I'm just very like curious what the reasoning is for not inviting her.
Out of nowhere, my sister said it's better if my wife's not present at the wedding. I thought it was a joke, so I laughed. She said she was serious. I asked her why. She simply said that she wants me to be beside her and not carry my wife around. Wow.
Okay.
So now we have our answer. She's a horrible person.
That took a turn.
I just said I will always be with her. She doesn't have to worry about my wife. That's when my brothers came in. And they said that I have done enough for my wife and that it's time for me to do something for my sister. Jesus Christ.
What the actual fuck?
They said I should have married another woman instead of a burden. I don't even know if we need to finish this one because I know that this person is not the asshole, but his family is.
But what was his premise? He flipped out, or
yeah. Let me go back to the title. Threatening my family after they insulted my wife in front of my face.
Threatening. I mean,
okay, let's see what sort of threatening it was.
The title is like very dubious.
I looked at my dad, and he just gave me a sign to calm down. But my mother joined as well and told me that my siblings are right. What the fuck? My wife shouldn't join the wedding because I won't pay attention to my siblings and wedding if I keep taking care of my wife.
What the actual rude
The
fuck.
selfishness is incredible.
I mean, they should have told that. Like, there's a segment in the marital ceremony.
Speak up now, or
object. Yeah. They should have done that there, not 5 years later.
But also the selfishness,
or
where
8
it's
months
like,
later.
It's my wedding, and I want you to focus everything on me. And if you have someone you have to take care of, I don't want them to be there.
Bridezilla.
Crazy.
Bridezilla.
But
energy.
everyone agrees as well. That's crazy. Anyway,
I mean, they obviously had those conversations a lot of times.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Like, these people have been talking.
This is not the first time this has come up.
I finally lost my cool. I finally lost my cool.
I mean, so cool.
I lost my cool. I finally lost my cool.
I mean,
understandable.
We're in the Europe, of course.
We are in the Europe, and I lost my cool. I finally lost my cool after hearing this. I went sober. I don't know what that means. I think this person might not. I think their first language might not be English because I went sober. Is that a thing?
Because
my first language is also not English.
They took a full month's break. They didn't drink a single drop.
I'm so mad. I'm gonna stop drinking.
I went sober for a month.
I think probably
you sobered up.
Yeah, sobered up. Yeah. So I finally lost my cool after hearing all this. I went sober. I said, if my wife is not invited, then I'm not invited either. I said I'm leaving. Valid, correct. I said I'm leaving. As I was going upstairs to wake up my wife and leaving, my family stopped me and said, I'm being unreasonable. I said, I'm not in the mood right now. Understandable. If I hear another offensive word, I'll do something we will all regret.
He's going to pull a gun.
if it is in the US, listen.
It's going to be a spicy story.
Oh boy. So I just grabbed my wife and went back to home. She asked why we left. I said I got urgent work in the morning. My boss called me on short notice. She bought it, but my family keeps saying I was in the wrong for threatening them.
First of all, boo. Tell everything to your wife immediately.
I understand why he doesn't want to burden her with the fact that his family is not seeing her as a full valid person.
Oh, no.
Right? I understand that, but I also feel like you should probably tell her that. And so she knows that these people suck.
I hate.
She should know that these people suck.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But like the not burdening with the truth, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I
just
get
tell.
I get the reflex, but I agree that you should say it. She should know.
Have a conversation with your partner. This is your life partner.
Yeah.
You should share fucking everything.
Parents do this as well. Like,
I hate that.
Oh yeah, your dad was in the hospital last week, and it's like, huh?
Oh my god.
Yes. What? Hello.
My partner's parents, one of them got into a motorbike accident.
And she didn't know.
And she knew, but she never knew the severity because she was like, how's dad going? And
it's fine.
They're like, it's fine. They're looking at whatever, and then and afterwards she heard like there was at some point a risk of him losing his leg. Great parents.
Yeah,
and
again, I understand where it comes from, but I don't think it's cool.
Yeah, no, never cool. No, please don't.
Because you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to carry that alone. Like that's why you're.
Exactly.
Your parents, like, we can help.
And also, you're not a martyr.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I will carry the burden of the secret.
Like,
no, talk.
I don't know what that is. Anyways.
Okay.
So yeah, am I the asshole for the way I reacted? So
no. 100%
100% no. I am 100% with this guy.
What the fuck, dude?
This family sucks. Fuck. These people are garbage. Like you said, that they've been talking about this. Yeah. That's what pisses me off somehow the most. Is like they've been discussing this behind his back the whole time. It felt
like an intervention.
100%.
They all ganked up on him. That's the other part. There's no like a conversation. No. There's more like you are wrong. You did a wrong thing. Undo it or not. I mean, they're not saying divorce her, but basically they're saying divorce her.
No, but they're saying your wife cannot be at the wedding because she has taken up too much attention, which is a crazy thing to say. Because
this will not evolve great in their relationship at all.
No. So clearly this family sucks. I'm gonna see what the comments say.
Yeah, I wonder. Imagine the first comment is like, "No, family is right. Family number one."
This one says it's only reasonable that a brother should always be with his sister during her wedding. WTF, where is her husband? The man she just married at. Exactly. Period. Why does OP need to pay so much damn attention to a wedding when he's not the one getting married?
Exactly. Sweet home Alabama.
Crazy.
Imagine there's like a subplot going on that he was.
Oh, he's getting married to his sister.
He was fucking his sister behind everybody's back. That's why she's so jealous.
Yeah, that is. God. This is insane, man. This one says, yeah, pretty much the last thing I cared about was spending time with my brother on my wedding day. I'm glad he was there to support me, but that's all I needed and expected. Wow. So yeah, definitely not the asshole. Jesus Christ. Definitely.
Very valid.
Yeah, extremely.
I think we have time for.
You have time for the third one?
Small one.
This is. I'm just going with this one because of the title. I hope this isn't some weird shit, but we'll see. So, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend her boobs tasted like onions?
I'm so intrigued just by the title.
Me, 22, and my girlfriend, 24, have been together for about a year now. Yesterday, when we were being intimate, I made the mistake of telling my girlfriend her breasts tasted like onions.
Whoa. So that means that's not the first time.
No.
It's been a year. Onion tasting booba.
He says her breasts tasted like onions/armpits. Onions? Armpits? Different thing.
I'm trying to make the connection, like maybe she has like weird smelling sweat.
Because everyone's sweat is different.
Yeah. Onion.
Weird sentence. This isn't the first time I've noticed this, but it's the first time I mentioned it to her. I immediately knew I should have kept the comment to myself because she pulled away from me, of course, and I could tell she was embarrassed. I apologized, but her feelings were already hurt. Now,
first of all, very, very sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, but body odor is a sensitive subject. I would say.
But you can also just talk about it. Yeah. Like you're in a relationship. Like we had like a lot of conversation with my partner. We just like, oh, this and this, and then we just talk about it, and it's fine. But there's no shame.
I can also see them being in the middle of being intimate. You're in a really vulnerable position.
Oh yeah, while you're being intimate.
That's when he said this.
Keep it afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Don't take away from the moment.
I think it's a weird thing to say in the middle of shenanigans.
You are tasting very fishy today.
Yeah, that's like maybe
not during.
Maybe not the time.
After.
So yeah, I immediately knew I should have kept the comment to myself. Timing wise, I definitely agree because she pulled away from me and I could tell she was embarrassed. Yes.
Obviously.
That is normal.
Yeah.
I apologize, but her feelings were already hurt. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't make fun of her or really tell her, but I thought she should know. I'd want to know if my ball smelled when I'm getting intimate with my partner.
Debatable.
Like
two
after
things.
The fact, maybe.
I don't know. Like during maybe. Is also like, for example, you want to perform oral sex on your partner, and you go down, and it's smelling like rather rank, or they had like a gym session or whatever. You didn't get into the shower. Like for me personally, with my partner, we just tell each other like, yeah, of course you have.
Yeah,
you mustn't go down on like a stanky junk.
No, if it's not helping the mood, then no.
And also, I would rather like receive that comment during, and I would be like, okay, thank God you didn't go down because I didn't know. Then afterwards, you're like, oh, you tasted like cheese. You're like, oh God, please.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
And then you can just talk about it, or just it doesn't kill the mood. You can the way you say it is also very important. You can just like very gently tell them, or just like
you could just like stop being in that area and focus on other things.
Exactly.
And then afterwards,
yeah.
I think that would probably be the ideal, unless they keep like get back on my boobs. At which point you should probably be like, I'm just a little bit distracted by.
Imagine you just going down and you're like, ooh, just like during.
That would not be ideal. Anyway, so I didn't make fun of her. Blah blah blah. I'd want to know if my ball smelled when I'm getting intimate with my partner. In fact, she has told me in the past when I'm not smelling so fresh, which is fair.
Exactly.
After work or after the gym. So I figured the comment wasn't really that serious. So now,
okay,
this next paragraph.
Here comes the kicker.
Looks interesting. Now brings me to today. I tried kissing her and she leaned away from me. When I asked her what was wrong, she just kind of shrugged and said she didn't feel like it, which is probably the first time in our relationship she's given me this sort of reaction. I left it alone after that, but I can tell she was still upset over my comment. I really didn't feel it was that serious, but I can't help but feel like I should have just shut the fuck up and not said anything. Am I the asshole?
There are a couple of things. She is clearly a very sensitive person. So by like during the year of that relationship, maybe you already could have picked up on that and chosen like a different timing.
That is a really good point.
For outing like her onion tits.
Yeah, because I agree. Like you must have, after you've known that the way you communicate, you have to be mindful of it.
Exactly.
With this person, which is fine.
It's definitely
you
fine.
You can still communicate just in a mindful way. So I
as long as there's communication, it's good. My second point is she obviously, like, I don't know if it's revenge or it's just her reaction, like leaning away from a kiss. Obviously, his mouth wasn't smelling too fresh, maybe because of that.
Could be. But then it's weird that she wouldn't say it, especially given the recent
that's my second opinion, is like she wouldn't say it, and he didn't pursue it.
Yeah.
You need to talk it out and not like leave a weird, awkward space.
Yeah, like she said, she shrugged. I didn't feel like it, and I think he just kept it at that.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
Pursue it, and obviously, if they don't want to talk about it, like after pushing it, then you don't have to push further, but you have to somehow engage a communication.
Yeah, I agree, because it makes me. Again, sad stories. It makes me sad that the next day she's still
upset,
so like in her head and upset about it, and not able to talk about it, or not, for whatever reason, and that's really sad.
That's really, really sad.
Yeah. So there's pretty much some resentment there, and it's not being taken care of at all.
It's not good.
When that I think is bad. I think it's fine when you're upset to need like a minute or like a few hours even to just be like, I just don't want to talk right now, I'm pissed.
Exactly. And then you calm down and then you discuss.
And
later,
then you're like, I was really pissed and I still am pissed because of this or this or this.
Yeah. You just rationalize
but you talk about it.
Yeah.
You have to at least like hear what the other person and how they respond.
Exactly, yeah. And maybe you misunderstood and there was a whole miscommunication thing.
Or it's like, no, you're right, I shouldn't have done that, and I recognize it. You have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But clearly they don't.
Nope.
So that's the problem here. I think that's the biggest issue. I don't think he was tactful.
No.
I don't think he was wrong in talking about or wanting to talk about it, especially because he's been on the receiving end of that as well. But I don't think his approach was right.
Yeah, because obviously he should know she's like a sensitive person.
Exactly.
You should approach it differently.
But he should be allowed to talk to her about it.
Yeah, well, 100%. Sure. And they should like engage in the communication.
But then, the fact that they're still upset the next day, that's bad.
I want to add like two things about it. Some people could argue like they're very young, they're still finding out the way that they communicate.
22 and 24.
It is a still valid point because you're like developing your brain still. But looking back to how I experienced my relationship, because I've also been together with my partner for 15 years now, we already had like that communication. So there's no excuse of being like young.
But it is something that you have to learn. I think.
Obviously, you have to develop.
I think it's really good that you two had that. I definitely understand myself as well. I really value it, but I don't think it's easy.
No,
I still struggle with it.
I never said it's easy. Like during our 15 years, we also had like moments where we had to obviously state what we want or like our needs, and we had to talk. We talked a lot, and we got to a point where it's very solid.
I really believe that that's the way to do it. But I understand that it's not easy, and especially if like I really believe in it. I try to do it, but I struggle with it. And I think some people are maybe not even aware of being allowed to, or it being like useful to talk about it, which I kind of get the feeling that's happening here.
But then again, they've only been together for 1
year. Yeah, which isn't that long.
It is debatable. They're like still discovering their ways of communication. So I'm like, okay, instead of going to Reddit, go talk to her.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Really good point.
Don't type it out, because I also know friends that are like, oh yeah, I had this and this discussion with my partner, and they like tell all about it to their friends. To their friends, and I'm like, have you talked about it with your partner? No.
Shouldn't you be talking to them if they're upset or hurt?
Why are you making this into like a big ass deal? Talking with your friends who will obviously like support you and like be against your partners,
because they're only hearing one story, right?
Yeah, and they validate like your opinion or side of things instead of just like having a conversation and resolve it like in 15 minutes.
You are so correct.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You could not be more correct.
What do the comments say?
Let's see. I don't think the comments are very interesting, to be honest. Like, they're talking about the onion smell. They're really focusing on the onion smell.
The first comment is like, it BO, that smells like onions. So what is your point?
None of these are really interesting.
And then some people are like, what's BO?
Yeah, what is BO?
Everybody is just sidetracked on the comments.
They're all like joking about I do think the title is really funny.
It is. For anybody who's listening, BO is body odor.
Yes.
You joke, but I literally didn't know for a long time when I was like still developing English language.
You're developing the English language.
Yeah, I'm like learning English. I'm like, what the fuck is BO? And everybody was like laughing about it. And afterwards, it hit me. I was like, body odor.
So, what is your review on the concept of Am I the Asshole?
I like it because sometimes it is actually like a proper interesting story, and some like I assumed in the beginning people were always the asshole, but like as you said, there's gray zones, and there's like some people are actually just asking for advice.
Yeah.
So I would browse it.
Just
for a quick story or two.
All right. So I think this was our Am I the Asshole episode segment. I don't know, man.
We're under 1 hour.
We're just doing something. We're under an hour. If you're ready to wrap up, I think I am, because my death grip on this microphone.
Same. Whew. It's gonna be red as fuck.
Oh yeah.
It will be imprinted with all of the metal parts that I'm currently smushing.
And it'll smell like onions.
I wish it would smell like onions, dude. It probably will smell like death.
Thank you so much for partaking in my little idea here.
Thank you for suggesting it. I liked it.
Thank you all for listening.
All 7 of us.
All 7.
Us.
7 of us. I'm not
listening. Sayo.
Goodbye.